Danger Zone on Jumpin' 89.1 FM.
Requested it, so we rewind. Never not gonna know what it do when them catch it. Oh yeah, welcome Massachusetts.
Danger Zone, please be clear. You're in the building right now with Illin P, our next special guest. He's gonna get right into it in 2 and 2. Let's go.
Yes, sire. Okay. Oh yeah, welcome Massachusetts. Boom. Yes, sire. Okay. Respect. Nice. I'm about to have some fun on this one, yo. This a ya boy, me tell you nothing. Boss it. And in the here, this is a new tune we run it. Run go tell ya, mama, papa, sister, your cousin come sit down on the rhythm like all they come is. Muffin panner, tough it, touch it, so you can't get enough. Up it, compact this, bonus sloppy, dub it. Any how you get it, biggie top. Put on jive, maximum energy. Two finger in the ear, make me see on a boss it. Come in at the dance already, now she with me cousin. Yeah, look good and I see something. Can't believe she happen in the oven and still try to get a slam because the man with the big she didn't love him. Next you have this boy where I hustle. Sometimes them flex some muscle. Have to get them paper on the double. Whether one or two foot in trouble. Can't catch a break so the risk them pet my line them in a duffel. See whether he's a bad man or goody. We keep our grim reaper hoodie. No say he's a product of life. Where they come with try, some come with strife. Either way people they shape by them boys. Me tell enough it, boss it. And in the here's a new tune we run it. Run go tell ya, mama, papa, sister, your cousin come sit down on it. Rhythm like one lick on me is muffin panner. Tough it, touch it, so you can't get enough of it. Compact this, bonus sloppy, dub it. Any how you get it, biggie top. Put on drive, maximum energy. Two finger in the ear, make me see on a boss it. No woman I come from foreign, they come seek opportunities better. Can't get a 6-month visa, so them work on the table till a man come be up a love letter. If a permanent citizenship, I wish I want. And I got in this term, can't get her. Then I'm gonna stop and negotiate that which point them whether make up your money on a sex favor or both. See whether you is desperate to have a plan. Naive or overstand fully. No say you're a product of life. Where they come with choice, some come with price. Either way, people this shape by them boys. Metal and no fake, boss it. And in the here's a new tune we run it. Run go tell ya, mama, papa, sister, your cousin come sit down on it. Rhythm like one lick on me, it's muffin panner. Tough it, touch it, so you can't get enough of it. Compact this, bonus sloppy, dub it. Anyhow you get it, biggie top. Put on drive, maximum energy. Two finger in the ear, make me see on a yes. Indeed. Oh, some Tommy Collins. Yes. Yo. Bossy. Liquor boy at 12 years all of a sudden get a fear for him life. Can't go to school with lunch money cause the bully them they take it last time so now him walk with knife. Next you have this woman where get lump up. Well face a bump up attention on a problem man she get it. When people know already him they drunk up and beat up. But after them relationship we must respect it. Oh God. See whether you is free them confident. Humble like arrogant slim. No say here's a product of everything from ground to the sky above. Some of us sing, some of us rather shed blood. Whichever we think we always have option to choose and just stay with the bird's eye view. Photograph it, boss it. And in the heat this is a new tune we run it. Don't go tell ya, mama, papa, sister, your cousin come sit down on it. I'm like one leg on money, tough it, touch it, so you can't get enough of it. Compact this, bonus slap it, dub it. Anyhow you get it, must be biggie top. Put on drive, maximum energy. Two finger in the ear, make me see on a yeah, boom. Yeah. Clinton. I'm bad, Clint. I had to get you for this one. This shit is fire. Yeah. Yeah. Strictly for the mixtape.
I am the super rockin' DJ on and on, coming out of a little Illin P flavor there, and he is in the studio, ladies and gentlemen. He is Illin P.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
There he is.
About time, yo.
Now, let me tell you something. There's talented, and then there's scary talented. Illin P is one of those guys I consider scary talented.
Word.
I'll also say that he is like, to me, the original Busta Rhymes. I mean, you just heard that joint, but like, he was so early in the game in infusing, and it's such a Boston thing. But the patois and the hip hop and that's just one chamber that this man does.
One authentic chamber.
One authentic chamber that he's mastered. Just truly an honor to have you here, man.
I appreciate that. I never heard that comparison before, but that's I'm on it.
Well,
that's pretty dope.
Now, you're a notoriously humble guy, so we're not gonna let you do your little humble act over here.
Word.
Tech, I want you to tell Illin P about himself.
He already know, cause I be beating Illin P's ear up every time we go out, But I mean, on the real, for the sake of our listeners, for their benefit, before, and I've been in the game for a minute. I was at Disc Makers in '93, so I've been had my feet wet. I've been off the porch in this Boston hip hop everything, but when I was choosing a name, I knew who Illin P was. Right. Word up, and I had never met him. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like I had particularly rocked out to any particular joint he had, but it was just the aura of I know who this dude, is. I know that there's somebody from my town that, got an original foot in the game, aside from the LOGs and everybody that we had, because I'm really from, I'm from the hood, you know what I'm saying? But, across the bridge, I knew about my man Illin P. So it's always been an honor and when I met this dude, it was like for me, it was like if I met KRS-One and I was from New York.
It's
like I'm not even trying to be funny. You know what I'm saying? For me to have a personal relationship finally grown as a grown man with Illin P, always been like a cherished thing for me as an MC. You know what I'm saying? So salute to my dude.
And I remember when I was out in New York, I didn't know, specifically the scene that was going on here, but I always remember going into Rock and Soul, Beat Street Records, and seeing the cartoon face, and it was Illin P. And with all that said, I mean, we're talking years ago. Yeah. I'm gonna use the P word. Mm-hmm. This guy is a pioneer, and
no doubt.
And the reason why, what is a pioneer? The pioneers are the guys that literally cleared out the woods, made it so we could drive buggies somewhere and all that. And Illin P is a true pioneer. I mean, one of the first guys really to get it popping. Now I want to ask you, you bastard. Why? With all that said, why are you
about to be put on blast?
Let's go. I'm about to scold you.
I hear you.
You know, guys from Boston with that resume. And the impact that you've made on so many MCs, a lot of guys, and there's nothing wrong with it, would say, "Yo, I was here first. I did this first. I knocked down these doors first." I never ever hear that from you. What's that all about?
What's the point?
Well, it's the point.
You know what I mean?
But the point is, when you make an indelible mark on a city, and you're one of the first people to breach a number of things, you should be recognized for that.
I appreciate. I do appreciate it. It actually makes me smile. It actually gives me the courage and the strength to go back and not to get all sobby, but go back and actually perform. Execute the way I execute. My approach to this thing was I always want the material, the character. I want the image to speak for itself. You know what I mean? I don't want to. I never ever want to really have to step into a room and have to explain myself. You know what I mean? I don't want to have to explain these, the songs that I write, or explain, my approach to something. The way it is what you get from me. If you can walk away with something that actually benefits you, I'm good.
Word.
You know what I mean? I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah.
It makes me go back and do it some more, man.
And the $1 million question: why do you still do it? Why isn't it time to play with the kids and grow?
Because he's
ferns
dope
in the backyard.
Listen, I still play with the kids. You know what I mean? I still play with the kids. Why do I still do it? Because it's in me. I cannot not do it. It's like breathing. Right. You know what I mean? It's in me. I cannot not do it. If you are true to the essence, then there's nothing really that's going to stop you from living the way you live it. And if this music is how I live, then that's just, I mean, if it's not coming, then that means I'm dead. You know what I mean?
Word up.
Let's talk about just the beginning and when Illin P really started to take off.
Right.
What were the things that were going on that catapulted you into national national
you want to
radar?
know I want to say local community organizing, and I don't mean that in like your teen center way. I'm talking like Cindy Diggs.
Right.
You know what I mean? UMMF. If it weren't for folks that had the gall and the strength to try to bring a city or just try to bring young folks together for one common cause. It may sound cliche or what have you, but she did it on a music level, and I've met folks through it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got my first record deal based, because of one of the events that she has thrown.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So had that not been the case, then I would not have. I can't even fathom like any other way I would get my foot in the door. How else are you gonna learn business, or even learn that you got to pay attention to business?
Right.
I mean, it's been some years, and I still get smacked up by the business.
Where'd you get Illin?
You know what I
Where'd you
mean?
get Illin P from? Because that was like one of the illest names. I mean, it's ill. You know what I'm saying? So
I appreciate that. That comes from DMC. I tell the story a bit. That comes from Tougher Than Leather. The the 1-2-1-2.
True that.
And I say, well, how did you feel when them 808s kicked in? When
Right.
DMC was like, party people, your dreams have now been fulfilled. Get out your seats.
And
Let me tell
let's
you.
get ill.
That point on.
Right,
That's where it came from.
Right,
You know what I mean? From
right.
that point on.
That's why I respect you, though. Because it's always been organic with you.
Word up.
So let me ask you, Illin P. Now, over the years, they've been marginally successful MCs, from your perceptionist to your acrobatics and terminologies and Rexes and all that. How do you? What's your take on how the Boston scene has progressed?
The Boston scene has progressed, albeit slow. I'm very fortunate to be able to participate and have participated for as long as I've been participating. You know what I mean? I tell you a story. The way I got on my first time on the radio,
Getting music played. They played a jam called Dilemma Goes Ill. I was in a group, a Boston-based group called Dilemma. With a few folks, Stephon G, Rue Russ, who was MOB back then.
Right.
And a few DEZ, D-Rap, and it was when Skippy Whites used to have the Source magazine on a one sheet.
Right.
They used to be on the counter,
Yo.
and they used to go through the playlist of
True
Leco
that.
Slemmer.
Speak on that.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It was that time, and then Edo actually had a joint on there that was
On the white sheet.
on the white sheet.
Yes,
that was
sir.
like number 3. I think it was called She's a Mutt.
She's a mutt.
She's a mutt.
He was like 16.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
She's a mutt. Something like that.
You know what I mean? And shout outs to Edo. But our jam, actually this jam is fresh. It was our second jam, but our first jam, Dilemma.
This jam is fresh.
Yeah. I wish I had brought that for you. I'm gonna throw that on a Throwback Thursday one of these days.
Jam is
But
fresh.
yeah, I sound like a little chipmunk. I tell you straight up. But we actually knocked She's a Mutt out of the third place. Pushed it down a bit, you know what I mean? And we was number 3. So I was amped at that. But the reason why I mentioned Edo is that it was his group, FTI, when he was still beatboxing, with Rick Phillips and all of them. It was Rick Phillips who passed my tape to Magnus, you know what I mean, and put made the Dilemma crew on
Right.
Leco Slemmer. That was the start of just
And that's when
just
people
goodness.
listen
Dope.
to radio.
Right.
Not like this goddamn show. I mean, they actually listen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have on the line Danger. Danger, you there?
What's good, fellas?
Yeah.
What's going on,
Y'all
Danger?
hear y'all doing the thing, man, holding it down. It seems like y'all have so much fun when I'm not there, man. What's going on?
Word.
Who I write and
That's
complain
because
about?
I be here, B.
Dane, let me ask you, what do you know about Illin P? What comes to mind when someone says Illin P?
How about this? Biggie duck. Yo, every time I hear that song, I have to throw on some type of accent and dance around like this dude. Yo, he is such an entertainer.
Yeah.
I'm saying the way when you said Busta Rhymes, I was like, oh shoot, because I never could think, you know what I mean, like that. But when he said Busta Rhymes, it's like, yo, that's so on point. Yo, he is so energetic, but he's an entertainer. And the thing that it kind of bothers me that people don't know their history and follow cats like Illin P. You know what I mean? I remember when we first started doing the whole MIC thing. For people that don't know about the MIC, was a conglomerate of a bunch of artists. We all just got together and started working together. And that's when you was hearing from dudes from, from Boston, all the boroughs, Cambridge, the North Shore, Brockton, South Shore. So we all started working together. And I was like, yo, to do Illin P, I was like, wow, you kind of don't think that certain dudes are from your state. You know what I mean? And, Illin P kind of gave me that vibe. You know what I'm saying? Yo,
Respect.
I'm honored to be your friend. Real talk, for real, man. We're friends.
No doubt, Thuxtradamus. I respect that.
Yeah, here you go. And this is why I sound like a groupie saying, like, yo, he's my friend. You know what I mean? But nah, Illin P is definitely the dude, man. And I got to say this. Now, you got Illin P there. You got Jack Dot and King there.
He's
and
crazy.
All of y'all on the station, I know D-Wiz got to have something dope. Y'all got to do, like, end of the show.
Set something.
Not even freestyle. It can be written. I can hear all y'all voices together, like, on a beat. And y'all never did a collab either. What's going on with that?
With who? With Tech? And that's coming.
Tech, DL?
Yeah.
That has to be coming.
And that's funny because that's something we always talked about.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I never been the type of dude that, with me it was more just, I looked up to P. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't have to necessarily have P on a joint. Just the fact that I got P in my phone and I can call P like, yo, what up? What up, P?
That's what's up.
And he know who I am. Not like, yo, who's this? Like, he know who I am when I call him. So that's dope.
That's just a nice version of Tech saying basically he doesn't call people for features. He waits to be called. So that's just how it goes. Now, there's records,
He's been called.
There's records with family members, but there's no record with all three of us. But that'll come in a minute.
True,
No doubt.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, look out for the upcoming collabo, Illin P, Tech .MP and DL. It's going to be called Bill Cosby.
Yep.
And thank you.
That's crazy, though.
Too soon.
Pudding pop in parentheses.
Y'all gotta listen back, man. Yo, salute, fellas.
I
man.
dang.
Y'all crazy.
Word up.
What, Illin P, what is your background, your West Indian background?
I actually, I was born here in Cambridge. I was born in Cambridge, Massachusetts. But I was the first of my family to be born in the States here. My mother's from Jamaica. My dad's from Panama.
Panama.
Yeah.
Look at you.
So,
Yeah.
And do you think, growing up, Panamanian and did that add to your linguistic abilities?
It most certainly did.
Yeah.
My pops, he bounced when we were younger. And I was raised by my mom's and, my mom's family, what have you. It's just nothing but West Indian influence all around. So, I mean, you can't help it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can't
So
help it.
tell me this. When was the first moment you realized that you were nice? When did you first realize that you could kind of do this thing better than everyone else?
You know what? I never looked at it as being able to do something better than somebody. Really, when I was younger, and I actually still ride with this today, when it came to competition, I don't see any. I don't recognize competition because if I recognize competition, then next thing you know, I'm starting to cater and twist and bend and shape to appease the competition or beat, you know what I mean?
Right.
Compared to the competition. So I don't see that competition. I mean, it exists. But me, this is my space. This is my lane. This is my world. And I'm the only one that fit in these shoes.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? So
as far as Tech just said, back in the day, when he saw you doing it and recognized that you could do it, he believed that he could do it coming from this town. Was there somebody for you from Boston
that I saw I could do? No, not really. No.
Jesus.
Nah, hey, you said be honest.
Wasn't nobody doing it back then.
No. No, you know what, sir? Like I said, I mentioned before. I have the honor of being able to execute in what seems to be like Boston's sectional history.
Right.
You know what I mean? You had the the early, like we were talking about Magnus, the Lecco Slemmer days, where your FTIs and your RSOs, and that's, when I found out about Roxbury Cold Crush and Sean P and, Disco P and the Fresh MC, It's, you know what I mean? A-Train, oh my God, and Express.
He had that battle with the dude from New York. Yeah.
My gosh, you know what I mean? I remember when there was controversy, when Rakim, the microphone fiend, using the beatbox in the back of that microphone fiend track. It was A-Train's beatbox that they were arguing about.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? But
deep history.
I remember them days, but I'm fortunate enough to be, to put out little young music then, and then, through my high school days, with your high authorities, oh my gosh, Manuel's, you know what I mean? That era, and then came the Mr. Lift, Acrobatic, and I was still putting out music then. So, I mean, I'm fortunate enough. Then you got your DLs and your Rexes, and from that, it feels good to be able to shoulder up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
With folks and still execute and still be relevant, because I mean, I love the old school. I feel like I am old school, but my output is far from old school because it ain't duplicated. I think you get I think you get old school when people start cloning your stuff. Right. You know what I mean? And they ain't start cloning my stuff yet. So
I had a question. Why do you feel the need? Because you don't just spit bars. You don't just do lines. You don't just sit there and write, 16. Why do you feel the need to be so theatrical with your records? Why do you feel the need to paint such vivid pictures and have sound effects and screams in the background? And while you ponder that, I just wanted to let the listeners of DanejaZone be clear on what I'm talking about. So right now, DJ D-Wiz, let's get it.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away.
Call dude to let him know of a checkout. The cat's out the bag, or is it distraught from the visit when they told her she got it? But that's not the package she asked for. Placed an order of love, and she came without the glove, so no need to even try to fit it right. Transmitted, and not via satellite. Heart feeling with spite, and she like,
no
check
sunshine.
it again, no insult, same result. First instinct, scream. Second thing, fine dude. Thought it was he and you, when in fact it was she and she too. Still ringing, thinking, how can this happen to me? I don't use, plus I'm a good person, not without sin, but there's plenty more worse than. Why give me the curse,
no
man?
sunshine.
One discovers with
no
the
sunshine.
breakdown of an immune system. Goodwill, spirit, and esteem can possibly break down with him. Inside, hate levels can rise for every T cell diminished. 200 or less, and you declared on the road to finish. Thank God if it ever replenished. Hello? Oh, you know what you gave me?
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home. Anytime she goes away.
That's our guest.
yo,
That's our guest. For God's sakes, Illin
Wow.
P. Let me tell you something about what I just heard. And I told you, this talented and this scary talent. What you just heard was a technician. I mean, yes, you're saying things, but the wordplay and the bouncing around, I'm telling you, you were always really ahead of your time. And I want to ask you about that. Do you think that you sort of got passed over because you were always, unfortunately, doing things and styles that people weren't ready for?
yeah, keep it 100. I do, and like I said, you talked about the humble, bug in the beginning or whatever, but I keep it real. I keep it grounded. I try to keep it grounded. You know what I mean? Don't try to get beyond my britches or whatever. But when I put my heart into these pieces, right. You know what I mean? You start talking about the theatricalness. I spit everything, well, the majority of my work from a standpoint of actually, I wish I was in the sea of green. Put it like that. Right. You know what I mean? I put that. The characters, and I try to live through it. I try to gather, the experiences that I've either, experienced myself or read about, or you know what I mean, have been told. And it's when you concentrate that into the pen and you put it on the paper, what have you, and then it goes out, and it seems like it's like it's over
the head. Yeah.
I've come to the conclusion that, you know what, if they don't get it today, tomorrow they're gonna hit me up. Next year they're gonna hit me up. 5 years from now they're gonna hit me up. It's gonna it's gonna trigger something.
Catch up to you.
It's gonna catch up to you. You know what I mean? So to have that effect, I mean, if you want to relate that to, you know, my pockets being fat or what have you, I mean, go ahead. But I actually separate the two, and just to have that effect, I think that's more. You know what I mean? That's more.
But I'll tell you, I've heard, you know, sort of rhyme schemes and rhyme patterns that you've made 10 years ago. And they come back around. That style comes back around. I mean, that's got to be very frustrating for you.
It used to be. I remember when I was in college, and I started to rhyme, and I started, you know, like Heavy D's is Wested. Heavy D's Jamaican, right? And he used to be freaking the bum diddly D's and all that stuff, you know. But not just him though, because they used to Asha D, Daddy Frey, you know. They used to in you know, dance hall. They used to Just Ice. They kill it, you know. A lot of stuff KRS does is just natural. It's like a 1-2-1-2 for hip hop. You know what I mean? But so I made a bunch of rhymes where I'm like, I'm the Italy piddly, no, I can't get bitterly busy, siddly sucker, MCs try to confront. You know what I mean? That type of stuff, you know?
And then here comes Das Effect.
And then here comes that. You know what I mean?
Tell me about it.
I had to totally, like.
Then Big Daddy Kane is doing it.
Yeah.
I had to brush that side, like, okay, so I can't get, you know, can't go the gimmick route. Can't, you know what I mean?
Right, you can't win.
You can't, you know.
But if you're that deep in the game, then, you know what I'm saying, you have phases of your lyrical career that you went through that, you know, that has that footprint, you know what I'm saying, and you was probably before it, because you always been on the foreshadowing side of styles that I saw, you know what I'm saying, but you know, like when you look at your own rhyme books, you know, you're gonna find patterns that was used before, you know, because that's where we were at. You know, because we've grown with this. You know, we not new with this. We didn't just step into this. This has been something that's grown with us as we've grown as people. So you're going to find examples of where we were at, you know what I'm saying, lyrically in that time period.
In addition to that, another I guess justification for it is that, you know, I'm just as human as the next person, you know what I mean? I ain't the only one that feels these emotions or feels these type of expressions, you know. Who am I to be like, you know, I own it if you think of some, you know, some stuff, you know, coming from the next state, you know what I mean?
Right.
Not like you heard my demo tape and was like, you know what, let me clone this. I mean, if I start hearing that, then, you know.
Let me tell you something.
I'm gunning, so.
But I'm not playing. We can make $1 million tomorrow if we just find a little white girl that you can be a ghostwriter for. I'm telling you.
Oh, yeah.
That's where it's at.
Crazy.
Because everything that I'm telling you, if a white boy did everything that you did, it's Machine Gun Kelly. Oh my God! It's Mac Miller. He's getting lyrical. You know, so consider it.
Shout out to Mac, though, man. I like Mac.
You like Mac Miller? We're gonna find Illin P a little Asian girl, and she's gonna go
like
flat.
a ghost, right? That's a hell of a combination.
Tell me this, Illin P. Along, you know, in the game, you will run through. Sometimes you don't want to meet. You never want to meet your you never want to meet your heroes. Did you ever have an experience where you met a hero and it was awful?
Yeah.
I mean, you've come across. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and this is awful because I was awestruck, right? I'm in Austin, and I was doing my bid at Cablevision. You know what I mean?
Cablevision.
Doing my bid at Cablevision.
Yeah.
And I'm at the McDonald's on Western Ave, right? And I got my partner with me, and he's from Ireland. So, you know, he's like, oh, pot. You know, I mean, I'm sitting, I see this guy in the line, right? I'm here like, yo, that can't be. That ain't him. He's like, what are you talking about, Pat? You know what I mean? He was like, nah, that just can't. Yo, that dude looks like Pasta Noose, yo. He's like,
Oh,
yo.
this is great. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Right? He said, that dude
Because
looks
that's his
like,
cousin.
I said, that you cut it out.
Yeah.
I said,
Really
that
what it
dude
is.
looks like Pasta Noosh, yo. I said, and this is like right when around the time Stakes is High.
Yep.
It came out, you
Yep.
know? So he's like, well, go up to him, right? And I don't know how or where. I probably do know how or where, just trying to be too macho to admit or whatever. But yo, a brother froze on some old like.
I can't even talk to
yo,
this guy.
he's, go up to him, Pat. Go up to him. Just say hi. You know, I'm like,
I can't.
Yeah.
my friend thinks you're Pasta Noosh.
Oh, he came over.
Yo, I said, oh my.
You can't take those Irish anywhere.
Nice.
Can't take them anywhere.
So I was called out or whatever, but ice broke and I said what up. I said what up. I'm like, what y'all doing here? Whatever, whatever. Like I do shows too. I got music too.
Right.
I rap. I'm good. What are you doing here? How come I didn't know? And stuff. But I found where he was staying, all that stuff, all the sectionists. They had a show at BC or something like that.
That's dope.
But I'm like, yo, you're killing them. Stakes is high. Yo, you're doing a whole lot of chin checking. You're doing chin checking. I love it. I love it.
He's like, get away from me.
Yeah.
You and your Irish friend.
You, me and my Irish friend. You know what I mean?
Go back to your cable
We're in
vision
cable
truck.
vision suit, jumpsuits.
Get
Yeah.
out. Beat it.
You know what I mean?
That's great.
But yeah, nah, he's it's one of the folks I actually admire. Is Paz. It's that whole De La that they just write rhymes, yo. They
but
just
it's the
write.
same. It's the same thing as you, though. Actually, it's funny that you talk about De La and look up to them. I mean, they are one of the most notoriously slept on. You ask anybody who's the top five.
They won't even put him in
They
there.
won't even put it. It's Wu-Tang. It's Mobb Deep. No one considers De La.
Yeah.
That's a
crazy.
crime. That's a crime. Is there's a crime to smile, thug? And I gotta give you Dane's title.
But you know what? But seriously,
is there a crime to, is it a shame to
I mean,
laugh?
I don't say if I put him. I don't know if I put him in my top 5, but
but if
but
you break
De
it
La
down-
is dope for anybody that don't know what De La is.
And I'll tell you
it's
another-
not hip hop.
I'll tell you a
know?
misnomer.
You're a rapper.
DL, where you say, they're mostly happy, this and that. If you really listen to De La, they're the biggest crabs in the game.
Yeah, they are. Yeah,
They
shoot
hate
shots.
everybody.
Yeah. They shoot shots, yo.
Biddy's in a BK lounge. I mean, no one's safe out here.
No one's
Yeah.
safe. No one's safe.
Word.
All right, we got.
Read between a couple of these lines, and you're fine.
My favorite recent. I mean, because it ain't one of their old joints, but I love ooh ooh ooh
With the red
ooh,
man,
that's my
right?
joint. Like, yo, that's my joint.
All right, we
And
got
it knocks.
we got Illin P in the studio.
Yeah.
Tech.MP. DL is here. D-Wiz. And we have more guests on the show. I just want to ask you real quick. Of course, Thanksgiving is coming up. I was talking to Tech outside. He's a maniac. He's going to New Hampshire for Black Friday.
Word.
Wait a minute. So you get There ain't no taxes in Black Friday's about no taxes, right?
I'm going. Nah.
Yeah,
it's just the sales.
It's just the sales. You get a TV. It's $300 off a TV.
Yeah.
And Kmart is opened at 6 a.m. on Thanksgiving. Who the hell needs to go to Kmart at 6 a.m. in the
See, that's when I'm going. I'm going on Cherokee Thursday. I'm gonna eat at 3 o'clock,
Yes.
and then I'm gonna head to New Hampshire. Cause
There you go.
everyone else ain't going to New Hampshire, and my kids need some flash screens, so
Right.
I'm gonna do the thing. But I'm part Cherokee. I'm from North Carolina. I'm real.
Okay.
I'm a real red.
So he needs
black
that
dude.
57-inch Zenith
Exactly.
to support his
You know,
culture.
And, I need my percentage from the reservation. I still haven't put in my application yet, but I'm going to do that.
No doubt.
Illin P, are you gonna make a Panamanian Jamaican turkey? What do you cook at your house?
Oh,
Curry cow foot.
curry cow foot. My house is pretty American. My house is pretty American. We've been Americanized, for real. So if any flavors coming in, then I'd have to actually, either do it myself or
Word.
or go and bring moms to the table, what have you.
No pork though. No pork.
No pork
At the Illin P residence.
No pork at the.
All right.
No. We're not doing
There you
that.
go. Good back, man.
Pork's a hard thing to dodge. You know what I mean? But the blatant pork, just
Right.
nah.
We're gonna have a spiral ham in my crib, so
I mean,
D-Wiz, will you put down that chicharron? For God's
just come
sake?
by after 6.
Illin P's here. What are you doing? All right. All right, so we're gonna play some music, D-Wiz. We're gonna come back and keep it moving. It's the Danger Zone, y'all. Shouts to Illin P, y'all. Yeah. There he is. A goddamn pioneer. Get out of his way.
Yo, respect.
All right. Let's go.
Charms is your last name, your showmanship sync when P blasted your frame. Maybe you trying to pick my brain, simply made a good selection. What you call gas, I call the illest fuel injection. See, I reckon like I'm texting you the next man to your flexing. Coming out your mouth, only tell me that you might not swallow. I'll awake your sleepy hollow, fill it with some substance, then sweetly over your head till that shit's dry. Pull up your pants, it is what it is, my stance. More like that of the praying man, humble with shine, still you. Small time when we up with my no lo tengo, yo soy loco con grind. Shine like Rambo in the mud flow. I open and scoping your whole show. Then jack out the box, swipe at your throat. Like, surprise, guys. This ain't a hoax, I grab at your throat. Squeeze at the apple, we grapple, we tote. Figures, some chicken can't feel the heat till it's smoking. I'm Fuma, you get food barred before the thought was on some what you. I double check 1, 2. Yeah. Line 'em up, yeah. Line 'em up, get 'em. 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 Line 'em up, yeah.
It's not a remix if PR ain't lined up on it. Only street nigga spit it, have backpack, just hold it. I put a pause to happy rapper moments. See directly through the wall and all these fake uppers know it. So pull it up, hold it. Cause what's under your skirt, the reason you flirt with every rapper that you know it. It's fly like Eddie Winslow's bite. Now it's still attached to the pipe and you got nothing to show for it. You wanna be a star, you better off if you been wrote it. You gangsta fake car making calls like I had a moment. That's not gangsta, back it up if you wrote it. Mother up, I said it, I meant it, somebody quoted. Sentiments and repentance is feelings I'm not knowing it. Drama, my gun showing love like more than showbiz. I'm mad at pen, I again don't show shit. Look, pain, dames, and pistols, ain't all emotion.
Line 'em up, line 'em up, one by one to line 'em up, and light 'em up. Help you lighten up. You feeling heavy, I slim fast you out. Rock LA rock, you feeling gas, make you pass it out. Vision ain't on 'em, which means I don't see 'em. And my eyes are looking ahead, not back, so I don't see 'em. No choice but to join, gave it the tough so they couldn't beat her. 1 down, 2 down, watch 'em go down defeated. They can't withdraw it, can't remove her off it. I'm still plus standing equals, I ain't never stopping. No, they can't stand it, that's why you always see him falling. The reason you don't see it's why you always hear him talking. Now, nothing for me, what's the fighting about? Still giving the fuss and the science, but what's the crying about? Guess it's how I apply a iron on tracks and lay him out. If they chest poked out, feeling Hogan, invite him out and watch me.
Hey rappers, I think I hit a soft spot. We were best chums right before this shit dropped. I can accept it, it must be awful to face truth. Well, mirror bitch, what I feel like facing you. Recruiting some of my partners to reiterate the feeling of your nauseation and inundate. I'm making up my own vocabulary this time. For all we squats bombarding the lunch line. I stand alone in the field with most others group. Up and dumb down, make they sound so I follow suit. I refuse and we're not cut from the same clothing as these other motherfucking sheeps and wolves clothing. Thoroughbred jeans, shout out to the real hustlers. Survivors, 9 to 5ers, and all other suckers. If we ain't playing the sandbox, I don't trust you. That's all from now, nighty night, little sweet knuckles.
Danger. You are now in the zone. The Danger Zone on Jumpin' 89.1 FM.